Oh, hi, Bell Brown. Um, Libraries and tech information, working on getting things going here.
I was gonna say the master of the Scholastic Book Fair. Yeah. That little push button, you'll see it'll turn green, so you know the microphone is working when it's green, and then you can just. We'll absolutely ask our presenters to. How does it matter which of these lovely folks go
I
first?
don't have, hang on,
Okay.
and Ian is helping me.
Oh, okay.
I'm not in a place to screen share yet.
Okay. You just let us know when you are.
I can start. I have a video that I'd love to share, but we'll wait on that and I'll just talk a little bit about WIN. So we have been an organization since 2007. We were originally founded to support homeless teens in the community. And over the years, we've expanded our programs to basically feed all youth that are in need. We're currently feeding 220 children and teens in our weekend meal program. And we have two options for that program. We do groceries or ready to eat. So depending on the needs of the household, that just gives options. We also have a summer meal program because South Whidbey doesn't reach the threshold required for providing a summer meal program. So we filled that gap. We have a snack program throughout the school district. So we're stocking fridges at each of the campuses with ready-to-eat food. These are a couple of our snack boxes that we have available. I don't know if you want to pass those around. And we also have some just a la carte items as well, cheese sticks, fruit, bars and that sort of thing. And basically it's just to help support students during the school day who are in need of extra nutrition. And for some students that is an economic situation, and for some students that may be a growth situation or just a need. And so we recognize that lots of different needs may need to be met. And so having healthy food available can really just help the classroom situation and those students that are at that moment. Let's see, we have quite a few community partners that we work with. Readiness to Learn is one of our favorites. We provide nutritional support for a lot of Readiness to Learn's programs, their after-school clubs, homework club, and then their summer programs as well. We do lunch so that it's really an equitable experience for all the students that are participating. And we also support the Hub after school, South Whidbey Children's Center, and Ryan's House are a few more of the organizations that we provide some sort of nutritional support to. And then we also have a fresh fruit and vegetable snack program on this campus. So we serve all students ITK through 5th grade and with daily snacks. And so Monday through Friday, 4 days a week, we do fresh fruit and vegetables. On Wednesday, we do popcorn. And basically as an example of a healthy snack. So we have organic popcorn that is dressed with coconut oil and different flavors that we cook up in the kitchen that the kids have a lot of fun with. And that's,
It was pizza popcorn day this Wednesday.
Yes.
People love that. It was very exciting.
we use a lot of nutritional yeast within that to fill in those flavors, but it's fun.
The chili lime is spectacular.
Thank you. Thank you. And really that snack program was born out of a collaboration with the school farm program, which we've kind of come of age with the school farm program and really have partnership with them from day one. And we're offices housed together down on the South Campus. And what we were noticing was that the kids would eat everything out in the garden and just, pulling it off the plants and putting it in their mouth. And then they would get back up here and, they weren't interested in the same food that was coming up and being served in the cafeteria. There was this disconnect. And so it was at that point that we started looking at culinary class opportunities, and the idea of the snack program was conceived as well, just to reinforce the connections that the students are making with the healthy food that they're growing at the farm. And so as much as possible, we try and use produce from the farm, but it is what it is. And we're often relying on commercially grown veggies and fruit. Let's see, we are also, we support the culinary classes through the school farm program, and we're the fiscal sponsors of the school farm program. So we help provide fundraising opportunities for the farm to support the AmeriCorps team that we are very reliant on. We have an incredible team of AmeriCorps members that it would be hard to have the farm program without the AmeriCorps team. We have a whole great team of volunteers that are supporting all of this healthy eating. We have an average of about 45 volunteers contributing over 250 hours a month to, prep and package and get everything ready to go. And we're housed down at the South Campus in the kitchen that was no longer being used. So in 2011, we moved in there after we were over at the Langley Middle School in the old home ec rooms for a while, and then we were at Good Cheer. And then when that opportunity came up, it was just a natural fit to be able to have us available or on hand close by. We can just respond to student needs. And that's occasionally comes up too, where you just have a student that's in crisis and we're just able to pack something up and send it home and keep everything flowing and moving forward. And so, we're incredibly grateful to the district for being that kitchen. It really is an incredible space. And even more so during COVID, it was such a blessing because it was large enough for us to be able to continue to have volunteers in there and spaced. During COVID, we had more volunteers wanting to help and support than we had slots available for, but it's really just been a wonderful partnership, and we're very honored to be serving the district.
Can I just say something really quick? I can't even express adequately the difference that WIN makes for our students and our community and our families. Every day there's children who are having a really rough time, and the first thing we always say is, "Are you hungry? Do you want something to eat?" And just that can make such a difference for them. It's just such a beautiful thing. And the AmeriCorps piece, we just don't have it in our school district budget to pay for our AmeriCorps members. They're usually young people who are coming from across the country. It's an amazing program in that they get that year of service. They get paid a small wage, and then they get a college scholarship at the end of their 10 months of service. It costs about $10,000 per member. We just don't have those funds. Melinda, in about 4 months, restarted our Friends of the School Farm and has raised over $30,000 in that short period of time. So we know next year our AmeriCorps members are already covered. So it's just can't even express my gratitude to you and all of the folks who do your program. So thank you.
And the Friends of the Farm is an emerging organization that we're in the process of developing. And so if you're interested in becoming part of that, there will be many opportunities for just community engagement, fundraising, and volunteering and that sort of thing. So feel free to get in touch with me and we'll sign you up.
I feel I'm helping my local community and families that may be struggling. WIN has helped me see the need around me, which I may have missed had it not been for this caring organization.
Struggle to keep food in our house week to week. WIN fills this gap with nutritious food for our family. We get our staples like bread, milk, cheese, and ham, as well as some treats. It brightens our day and helps take some stress off of us as parents.
Well, I could start by saying this woman here had an idea that we needed to take care of the kids that needed food. Mary Fisher and I were volunteering at a Power of Hope. Works with teens through the arts. And the facilitator said that there were something like 60 kids living in the woods, which was just shocking. And I just turned to Dora and said, "Oh, we got to feed these kids. Do you want to help me?" And she said, "Absolutely." And Kathy McLaughlin at the Good Cheer eventually took us on, and we worked through the through the Good Cheer kitchen for a while. And then she said, "Oh, you've grown so much, time to take off on your own wings." And the Good Cheer people always knew that there was a big need for ready-made food in the community that they couldn't provide. So they immediately wanted to help us. We had to make food that was ready to eat and portable so the kids could come and get it and take it to wherever they were, whether they were staying on somebody's couch or in the woods or whatever. Right. The first meals that they got were sandwiches, meat and cheese, or peanut butter and jelly. We were also wanting them to have the dignity of being able to choose what they wanted to eat. We wanted it to be all-inclusive, really. If you felt like you needed a meal, there were no questions asked. It didn't matter what age you were. It didn't matter what you were wearing, what you were driving, whatever. If you felt like you needed a meal, they were there for you, and we didn't ask any questions. And that was really important.
To provide nutritious food to a child in need is a gift. Originally, when we had the bags of food that the children would take home for the weekend on Thursdays, a lot of the children took them home. We delivered to a few of them that didn't feel comfortable or it was too heavy. But during COVID, we delivered everything. So in the beginning, it was a meal for the weekend, and then it developed into more than that during COVID because families needed more. So it would be for the weekend and for snacks also. Then we decided to take a healthy snack into the classroom. So the kids get this full circle thing. They're growing the food. They have an organic farm at the school. The kids get to grow it and eat it. We all understand that having healthy food is certainly a base level human need, and with it provides the ability to thrive.
Receiving our weekly bag of food from WIN is like getting a hug in the form of nourishment. Every delivery is a delightful surprise that I eagerly look forward to. Knowing that I can provide quality lunches for my little one without stressing over the expense is invaluable. Thank you for making such a significant positive impact on our lives.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Melinda. Does anybody have questions for Melinda? Comments, questions?
Fancy. Any thoughts about beyond fifth grade? Or can you tell us what you know about what happens for middle school and high school kids?
Yeah, so we actually have 2 fridges over at the high school campus, one in the SWA classroom and then one just in the main office. And so the same food that we're stocking here on this campus goes there as well. We've looked at trying to continue the fresh fruit and snack, vegetable snack program on that campus as well, and just haven't quite been able to find a way that wouldn't cause waste, we'll just say that much. And so the food is there and available, but we're not just handing it out in the same way that we do in the classroom down here.
Just one follow-up question. And then on the home deliveries, like they just stop at 5th grade right now?
No, they go, basically, if they're old enough to eat solid food through the age of 18, and even then we have some grace period depending on the needs of the household. So yeah, everyone that signs up can either pick it up from school or we deliver. And we have 7 delivery routes and we're delivering to about 95 households right now.
And that's a raw number view of the needs. I also keep in mind that about just under 20% of our students are experiencing housing insecurity district-wide. And at the elementary school, it's right about 31% free and reduced lunch. So there is an extraordinary need in this community.
And
Thank you.
the types of households that we're serving, I mean, it's everywhere from, you know, fully unhoused students to many who are shared situations, you know, multiple families in a household, trailers in the woods. I mean, it's a full spectrum. And some families, they just need that small help in their budget. And for some families, it's everything. So it really represents the full spectrum of need on the island or South End.
Questions? Please, Meg.
It's not a question. I just want to share a wonderful experience, which was we had 3 8th grade girls who got to do 4 weeks of volunteering 1 day a week with the amazing kitchen manager, Katie. And it was just a really beautiful experience. So thank you for welcoming students into the kitchen too.
Yeah, we love having students, service groups. So if you're involved with kids and want to bring them in, just let us know and we try and find space for them. And we get very creative.
I'm having some light technical times that I'm working through. I'm going to be working on sending a slideshow I have to Val, and then we look at that. So if we just want to take a minute and maybe people can refresh their coffee really quick and then.
Absolutely. Brooke?
Oh yeah, perfect.
So as many of you no doubt know, South Whidbey has 3 amazing finalists for the new to take over as superintendent next year. The board met with 6 semifinalists on Wednesday, spent about 11 hours interviewing and debating and discussing, and selected 3 amazing finalists, Dr. Becky Clifford, Liz Reitz, and Dr. Christine Michael. Their bios are up on the school website, right on the front page. And the community will have an opportunity to interact with them and meet them and share some feedback on them from next Wednesday from 6 through 8:30 in this room or on Zoom. And the Zoom link is up on the website also. They're going to be touring the district and meeting with staff and students and administrators and community members and the board and finding out if they want to be here and if we want them to be here. And then on Thursday, the board will be selecting the person we will offer the job to for the next year. So your opportunity to get involved is next Wednesday.
You can submit questions online. There's a portion where if you can't make it in person or anything like that, if you just have a question that you want to submit to any of the 3 candidates, they'll be able to view it and maybe address it during that time.
I'm sure there is. I haven't seen that one yet. Thank you very much. At the very least, if we don't have that up on the website yet, excellent, perfect. Then I don't have to say, yeah. Excellent, thank you.
We're so much closer. I'm gonna email this to Val, which might take, but I can at least get started because it's also my microphone's not turned on. So are there any other announcements, really? Sure, yeah.
I just wanted to provide some quick updates about what's going on at the elementary school. We had a great week back. We did a lot of reteaching of expectations. It's always good to have some reminders about how we act in the halls and how we act on the playground and all those good things. But it's been really fun to get back. We have a lot of sickness in the school right now. I think we had 4 different throw up experiences yesterday. So keep those hands washed. Yeah, it was quite the day. Hazmat, all day long. So yeah, just watch your kiddos and make sure they're washing their hands. What else? We're preparing for our winter iReady diagnostics for math and reading, and that's where we start with our baseline in the fall. They have instruction, and then we do the diagnostic again, just to see where their growth is and what kind of interventions that we need to engage in to make sure they're getting what they need, basically, for their own growth. And that's what we love about iReady. It's really based on each individual child versus, you have some goal that everybody's trying to meet. It's really based on the needs of each child. So that's what I really like about that program. How are you doing? Good. Okay, you ready? Oh, okay.
It's enough for me to start. Thank you, everyone. And I'll say I love elementary school. I love coming here. And I'm forced Tevrin to come to relive our magical times here. It's a special time in your kids' lives. And yeah, it doesn't last very long. I'm lucky that I get to kind of tack onto it because through my work with Readiness to Learn, because we partner very closely with the South Whitby School District. So if you go to the next slide, we are a small organization with a big impact. Our mission is to create opportunities for families and students to thrive by connecting them with community resources and providing individualized support. And the resources in our community are pretty amazing, and the individualized support can really be tailored to, it's like iReady, and we can meet with families, determine what their interest is in working with us and how we can support them, and then we do that. Readiness to Learn was first established in 1988 in partnership with the South Whitby School District as part of a statewide program. And we're currently located at the South Whitby Community Center. We were located here on campus for many years in the Garden Center, in fact, is where the Family Resource Center was. And then in the other portable that's kind of by the playground too. And we had an opportunity to help create a family resource center on steroids, and that is the South Whitby Community Center. So our work is guided by our principles, and those are outlined here. It's on our website. I won't read through them, but basically we on all levels of our organization, we treat people how we would like to be treated. And that's kind of it in a nutshell. We listen to what families want and work with them to meet those goals, not imposing our goals for those families. And so that's how we do all of our work. In the next slide, we offer family support, student support, and then community resources. And family support, those are kind of outlined there. And then in the next slide, this is more about the family support that we offer. There's a family resource center, which is located in the main hall of the South Whitby Community Center. And it's like a hub of resources. It's staffed by me and Mary Mitchell, who does our families in transition program. And she also works for the school district to support students who are unstably housed. We share that space with CADA. That's new this year, and that's really nice to be sharing space with CADA and for them to have that's Citizens Against Domestic abuse and sexual violence. And so having them there on is really helpful for families to connect. We have help with school, so we can come to meetings with parents. Sometimes it's nice to have an extra friendly person to help negotiate that relationship. We have parenting classes occasionally when there's an interest in people attending them. We but we always are knowledgeable about resources that are available, even if we don't provide them. We help connect people to paying their bills. So if a lot of people find that their budget is short, and we're just so knowledgeable about helping you connect to the things that will help you pay for your bills. We have a birthday program and a holiday house program so that parents can access gifts for their kids without stressing out about paying the bills or making the food budget. And then we have winter clothes that are available. Windermere does a coat drive for us every year, and so we're able to we usually give away like 150 new coats for parents, and that's a huge deal because and all of it is to make sure kids are ready to learn, because if you're cold, if you're hungry, if everyone in your family is stressed out about bills, it's really hard to be present and learn how to read, or do math or relate in a way with your peers that's positive. So here's the next slide has some quotes from parents. RTL's support and kindness has been tremendous over the years. It makes me feel not so alone as I raise my 2 girls. And that comes back to how we work with people. It's really important to us that people don't feel stigmatized or judged as they're accessing these helpful services, which it's hard to do. It's like not anybody's favorite thing to come see us and sometimes people like seeing us no matter what, but asking for help is hard. And so we're grateful to be able to do it. And you can see a peek into the Family Resource Center here through the doorway. The other thing we do, oops, I just shut but I can look here, is we offer student support. So we have after school fun, which this year, so far, we just started doing tutor time, which is a weekly time for kids to meet with a tutor from the community and catch up on some homework, but then also just build connection with a safe adult in the community. And that's super important. And then we have an academic coach, and we partner with the school district to support unhoused youth. And our academic coach, her office is at the high school, middle school campus, and she just provides an extra layer of support for kids who are not stably housed. And the work that program is like a statewide example. We have had an 100% graduation rate for the students who are unstably housed in our district for the past several years. And before the position was initiated, our graduation rate was lower, way lower. It was like 50%, and then having her was 85%, and then 100% grad. And that's just really unusual. We have an exceptional program, and that's they graduate high school, and then some years, like every single one of them has had a post-secondary plan that includes going to college, and that's really phenomenal as well. And then we also offer summer fun, and that is high quality, super fun camp style programming that's offered, that has been offered for free for kids in our community. And that is the summer fun program is like our newest thing that was developed like in 2020 as kids were isolated and alone, and there wasn't really safe places for them to get together. So a thing Readiness to Learn always does is stay aware of what's going on in our community and work to fill gaps. And so it was a huge gap to have something for kids. And we make it accessible by partnering with our friends at WIN so that everybody has a lunch. And that's been really fun. Next slide. We partner with the community a lot. we wouldn't be able to do the work we do if it weren't for the South Whidbey School District. If it weren't for partnering with WIN is amazing. We partner with them in that they provide food, but then also we're able to identify people and send them to WIN. And it's such a gift to be able to be like, oh, did you know? And people are like, this makes such a huge difference.
Can I just add too, because we have contact in a different way with some of the families that we're both serving, we're often able to connect in ways to get families additional support that wouldn't have been recognized. It's just that collaborative piece. And so anyway, it's just one more.
We try to collaborate with helping agencies in that way to make sure that families are, taken care of. That's what we care about. And so, yeah.
Respect to,
Yeah, with
confidentiality and privacy and all of that. And so in this compassionate way, it's, yeah, it's sort of, it's very, one of the blessings of a small community.
Yeah.
Is another piece of it. So.
Much like WIN is the fiscal sponsor of the Friends of the Farm, we're the fiscal sponsor of Pomosia Place, which is it's a organization that tends to the needs of the BIPOC community and ensures that there's like a space on South Whidbey and island-wide for families of color to connect and build community. And I mentioned that CADA is in our space, and that's been great. It's been years since CADA's had a South Whidbey presence, and it's phenomenal. And it's fun to get to know those providers. They're great. And then getting to know people who do, like, then when we are referring a family to them, we can say like, no, they're really nice. We spend every day with them. Okay, next slide. Oh, is that it?
I think that's it.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Oh,
Sorry, I'll go back.
no, this is that's a link where it says our impact, and it's another short video about our impact last year. And it goes over some of the programs we did. Do you want to click on will it work? Oh, okay. Yay. Yeah. So that's readiness to learn. Are there any questions? Those numbers were our numbers from last year. Our fiscal and data years are the same as the school district. So we've had a back to school program since that was made and a holiday house. And for both of those programs, we served about 50 more kids this year than we did last year. And I feel like it's possible a need will keep rising in our community, and I'm grateful for community support because we were able to meet the need. So that's really good, but it's sad that the need is going to keep the wealth disparity in our community just really continues to grow, and it's hard for families. And that's a reality that some people have access and see, but many people don't. So we're grateful for community support to help fill that gap and make a difference for kids who are impacted by poverty.
Thank you, Kaylin, so much. Again, all the work that Readiness to Learn does for our students and families, it's immeasurable. I just feel so fortunate because I talk to administrators in other communities that don't have these kind of resources, and we are so fortunate. So any comments, questions before we?
Kaylin, can you talk a little bit about the funding that Readiness to Learn gets?
We're a nonprofit, so our funding is through fundraising campaigns like letter appeals. We write for and receive grants from our local community and then from larger organizations. We have contracts with organizations that we get, and that's how we do it. I would say a strength of our South Whidbey community is that we really work together to maximize funding. So we try not to duplicate services and really stay connected with other people so that the resources our community shares with our organization stretches farther. So Readiness to Learn wouldn't do a snack program or a take-home meal because that's covered. We would just work with them to do that. And so that I'm appreciative of our community of helpers and other partners, not just helpers, who make sure that we can use our resources wisely.
Thank you. Appreciate it. For sure. Yes. Well, with our remaining time, just thought we would give a few updates. Brooke, I'm hoping you could give maybe a brief update on our bond initiatives.
Yeah, planning work continues because we had some setbacks on getting the permits in place. We weren't able to start last summer, but from the last report I got, work is ready to begin this summer on the playground out here, on the courtyard at the middle high school, and very soon on the siding and roof out there as well. And a number of other projects that we've discussed throughout the bond, including the additional play area out here, entry vestibules to make the safe even safer, this new field and track at and press box at the middle high school, bathroom improvements at both buildings, several other projects that I can't remember off the top of my head. They're being prioritized so that there's the core things that were promised and will happen, and are most important. There's the things that we suggested we'd like to do to the community during this process and are important and we think we can do. And then there's an outer ring of things that if we have some funding left over, we want to do. The last information that I had said probably 3 years for the total project. So, yeah, should be breaking ground this summer.
Questions from anybody? Right. I'm especially excited. Well, I'm excited for all of it. Our high school, everything needs it, but our playground, we're very excited. We've had a team of about 4 staff members who've worked really closely with our architecture team. They've kind of picked up on this farm, forest, and sea theme that we have in our school, and it's pretty exciting. In fact, I have a slideshow at one of our upcoming coffees that I'll share with you and show kind of the design. But the hope is to have a big event next fall when we come back for Popsicles with the Principal, and we'll have our beautiful new playground. That's the hope. Yeah. Other things I wanted to just share a couple things that's more of what's going on, and then open it up for questions. If anybody has questions or comments or concerns you want to share, we're really focusing on more family events this year. So we have a family math night that we're planning to just introduce. We know sometimes that parents did not learn to do math the way that our students are learning to do math these days. And so we have a number of games and just different activities for families to work on at home that can just be fun and be a kind of a family bonding activity, but also help with some of those basic skills that students need. We're going to have our highly capable learner testing. This is a state program where every spring all of our second graders and all of our fifth graders go through a prescribed test. We use the results of that test as well as iReady scores to determine the children who will receive services in our highly capable program. That's led by Tracy McKnight. She does a group here once a week for an hour, and then she does 2 groups at the middle school for an hour. Really creative, a lot of coding, depending on the interests of the students, they really get to kind of drive the program. Lindsay DeMott's also is doing a writing club. Our clubs are still going strong. She does a writing club. Karen Plouffe, our STEM teacher, is doing it's called Blook It. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of it. It's a math-focused online program, and the kids love it, but it really instills great math skills. Susan Ritzner, our reading teacher, is doing a singing club. Has anybody been to one of our assemblies? And it is so cool. It's the best, and the kids love it. So at our Martin Luther King Assembly on January 23rd, they'll be singing some songs. Peace Like a River. I'm so excited for that one. Yeah, we're all going to sing. We're all going to learn. Martin Luther King, the way we approach that holiday is looking at it as a day of service. And so right now, teachers and students are engaged in planning what their projects will be. Our kindergartners started a tradition about 2 years ago where they make bracelets, and then we all go down to the high school and they sing to the senior class, and they give each of the high school seniors a bracelet that they made. And it was so sweet at I get all teary-eyed. At graduation last year, many of the seniors wore the bracelets that the kindergarten students had made for them. So just making that connection from beginning to end of their experience in our district is super cool. We have our food drive. Miss Brown and I lead our ASB, and those students take a lead on a lot of the projects that we do. Any student can be an ASB. They just write a little letter to their teacher saying they want to do that. We don't do elections or anything at this grade band. We just want all kids who want it to have that introduction to leadership. So our food drive starts January 20. We'll kick it off at the MLK Assembly. So just a range. I think our first graders are making cookies in culinary that will go to all the WIN volunteers. Since they feed them, they're going to feed the WIN volunteers. So really, we really believe in at the youngest age, starting to provide our students with opportunities to serve and give back to their community. We really believe that's how we begin to create citizens, right? At the earliest age. We had a really cool meeting last week at our admin with, there's a new judge at District Court in Oak Harbor, Judge Ron Constek, I think you say is Constek, I can't remember. But he is super excited about bringing civic education, really a meaningful connection with our local court systems. So we're looking right now, he wants to bring, all ages who it's relevant for up to the court, or he'll come in. He opened up ideas around moot court for high school kids to do. So really excited, when that community connection piece is just so important for our kids to see this community, to become a part of this larger community. So really excited about that. As you probably read, we were designated as what's called a STEM Lighthouse School this year. It was a big honor for us. We didn't apply for it. They reached out to us, our State Department of Education. They provided $20,000 of funds. And so what we're doing with those funds is we're doing outreach to other schools and school districts in the area about how we integrate our STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math, into our outdoor learning programs. So that's really been exciting. Yeah, it's such a great way for students to see science in action, whether it's water testing or field studies or looking at the type of trees out on the trails. It's very powerful for our kids. We're also creating a 5th grade science lab down on South Campus, which we're excited about that. So students have a little more hands-on opportunities in the classroom for science. That's kind of it, but what questions? Anybody have questions or things they want to ask or comments? Anything with?
I know in the past, I think for 2 years maybe, we've done a Fort Casey trip for the 4th graders, but I know that Fort Casey was sold to YMCA, so I'm just curious if that's still going to be.
We are
able to
still
happen.
on April
Awesome.
23rd and 24th. Yeah. We've had a couple meetings, in fact, with them, and they, we are considered a legacy program with them because we've gone for so many years. Yeah. So they're actually keeping our prices, what they've been. And yeah, so we're
That's
still,
awesome.
yeah, still going strong. Oh, absolutely.
Can you talk about just what's required for parents to chaperone? I know it's different as an overnight trip versus just volunteering in the classroom.
Right. We do, we'll start outreach for that probably in March. Our volunteer coordinator, Melissa Field, will be reaching out to 4th grade families. The big difference, so we have 2 camp experiences. We have our 5th grade camp and 6th grade camp experiences, and then which are 2 nights. 5th grade's 2 nights, and then 4th grade is 1 night. 4th grade, the kids sleep in dorms. So, 50 kids in one room, and then there's little side rooms for the adults. We don't have to do fingerprinting for the Fort Casey trip. We do fingerprinting for the 5th grade program because that's in individual cabins, and often there's just one adult. So that's but we do background checks on every adult volunteer. So that would be the first step. If you have a volunteer packet on file with us, we're good for 2 years. And so if you say, I want to volunteer, we'll just check with you and say, oh, you're still good to go. We'll have parent meetings and volunteer meetings. And yeah, it's a super cool experience for our kids. We've also got a 5th grade. We'll also, I don't know if Would-Be Camino Land Trust bought this incredible piece. Well, yeah, they bought it with support up at EB's Landing. So there's farm area, there's beach. So the 5th grade will be going up there again in the spring to have an experience there too. Yeah. Questions? Have any worries? Let me know. Or concerns? Questions? Right. Well, we're at 9:20. I just really appreciate this opportunity. I'm so excited that Christy has set us up that we can record so families who just can't be here are able to tap in. Brooke, anything, or Val, anything else you'd want to add? Right. We appreciate our families and partners. Yes, yes.
Microphone, let's. All right. Okay. I wanted to say, because I heard that there's new families in the neighborhood. Readiness to Learn was kind of the toe in to getting into my community, and whether it be via volunteering with them or going into walking around. And I believe it might have been you a year ago that was like, yeah, you can go into that room. It's your community center. And I was like, my community center? Like, this is really cool. So that has areas for kids aren't yours. first moved because I'm just kind of, so I would just take my daughter down to the community center just so she'd have our libraries, and they're just part-time, so that kind of helps, but until they instruction, but it's just nice to get a toe in that way in the community with either program, really. But if even or you just want a space to go to, they make that available down there, and it's really comforting when you don't have another space to go to feel safe in. So yeah.
I love that. Thank you.
That reminds me, I'll put a plug for volunteering at our tutor time program. It's once a week for like an hour and a half. That is something I started before I worked for Readiness to Learn. It was called Homework Club, and I was a homework club volunteer. And it's so fun to help kids you're not related to do homework, first of all. It's like really joyful. And then that was a long time ago, and now those people are adults, and it's cool to see young South Whitby adults out there using probably their homework club skills. But it's also just a fun way to connect with kids in your community. I really think that kind of like how they become citizens is getting to know other people, and so you can be the other person by helping with math, and you don't have or reading. You don't have to be a math genius to help kids with math. Like part of it is learning how to stay calm and figure the problem out, and you can model that. So yeah, thank you, Jackie, for reminding me that to make that plug.
Oops, one last thing I thought of is, I think I shared that we received a grant from the Whitby Community Foundation to help fund a 2-day-a-week mental health therapist in our schools, because that's just such a need right now. She has started. Her name is Kathy Hine. She's a local provider who's been a part of our community. We graduated from high school together. We, small town living, right? And it's just awesome. She's doing some one-on-one and some small group. She has a background in art therapy as well. So please feel free to reach out to us if you feel like your child could benefit from those services. We also have Marguerite Berg from ESD 189, who is contracted with our schools, and she's here a day and a half a week, 2.5 days a week, and 2.5 days a week at the high school. So yeah, let us know if you feel like that could benefit your child. All right. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you all very much. Bye.